foot injury. He believes he's okay, but I would still keep an eye on that one as we go forward here, and an eye on what the Cardinals are going to do with the offensive coordinator. Here's Josh Rosen postgame.
It wasn't great, I'll tell you that. I mean, we got a lot to work on. It's a team game, and I know my brothers have my back. I obviously didn't play up to my standard or even close to it. But, that's why you play another one next week. And I think every time you're on the field, you can learn something. I think we got a lot to learn, especially when we check out the tape.
All right, you can check out the tape and you can check out the numbers here. This is a look at Josh Rosen's NFL rankings so far this season. You can see this, but also I'll have you know he's been pressured on 30% of his dropbacks. He's been sacked 13 times in 4 starts in the league. Back here at the breakfast table. Actually, no, let's go to Steve Wilks. Let's hear from Steve Wilks. Obviously, the 1-6 to start the season. Here he is on some potential changes that might go down with the Cardinals.
You guys gonna ask me about changes? That's premature to talk about any changes right now, okay? Everybody's going to be evaluated across the board. And as I said before, we've got to find ways to get this thing moving in the right direction. I didn't say Mike McCoy at all. You know, when we talk about changes, I'm talking about changes from, it could be personnel, could be players, could be, whatever it may be. It could be scheme. So what I'm saying when I say it's premature to talk about that at this particular time without going through the evaluation.
Back here
Everybody
in the studio.
everybody with the glasses on.
I know. That's
Teams
pretty
on.
Yeah, I got the coolest glasses,
Those
though.
are the coolest ones
Yeah,
I've
yours
ever
are
seen.
organic.
Who makes
Didn't cost me anything.
You got it like that. I like it. All right, so obviously we're wearing our glasses because Von Miller had a monster, tremendous game. This entire defense came to play. But the issue here is on the Cardinals side. What they let happen, the gaps in the secondary, not getting separation, all of that, or everything just exploding. Tell me this. There's obviously rookie stuff going on. Rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. Which rookie is the bigger issue for the Cardinals right now?
Wow, I think it's both of those guys. I think it's everything, the whole entire situation. You have a new coach who's a defensive-minded coach, right? I bet if he had his way, they'd play tough defense, run the ball every single play. You know what I mean? That's tend to be what defensive coaches like to do. And then you have a rookie quarterback in there right now, and the offensive line can't protect him. The offensive line is not opening up holes for your star running back. So I think it's just a lot of different factors coming together at one time. This team only had, 5 or 6 passing touchdowns on the season? I mean, that's anemic. That's an anemic offense. And something has to change now, because if it doesn't, forget the end of the season. A lot of people are going to start losing their jobs here pretty soon.
I bought in on the Steve Wilks hire. I said it was going to be a fantastic hire. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go down with the ship if it does go down in the end here. But I do believe that he's got to address what's happening with Mike McCoy and the offensive coordinator. Mike McCoy did a great job with the Denver Broncos years ago with Peyton Manning. Did some good stuff with Phillip Rivers as well. But those are veteran quarterbacks. Yeah. Those are guys you can ask a lot of. And the knock on McCoy since then has been there's a little too much in the offense here. And maybe he got used to having Peyton Manning. Well, now you've got a rookie quarterback. It did look like early in the game they were trying to simplify it, get stuff out quickly. Yep. But guess what? The Broncos recognize that, get a hand up, tip that ball right away, and now all of a sudden you create a turnover, and now your plan to keep it simple and keep him comfortable early in the game, that goes down the tubes.
But your engine of your team, which is your offensive line, your offensive line and your secondary, if you bad in any one of those areas, you ain't gonna win games. You're gonna get exposed, right? And this offensive line just isn't getting it done right now. They have some injuries and guys are banged up, but they're just not getting it done. And then you have a rookie quarterback with all of these things floating through his head, and it's hard to play football there.
Yeah, and that's what I saw. Much more than the quarterback or the head coach. It's the collective group of guys in that locker room. They just don't seem to have
talent.
I don't want to say talent, but as much as everyone else, as much as everyone else, they don't seem to have it. And I don't know how this team I don't know, because
Can we say that defensively, though?
Go down,
That's what I'm
look
saying.
at the guys, they have some players.
Can we say that individually? I mean, can we say that individually to this team? Look at this defense. Look at the secondary. I mean, Buda Baker, Patrick Peterson, all of those guys.
If you didn't say it, I was
going
to say
position.
it.
You have David Johnson, one of the best at his position. Larry Fitzgerald, the consummate professional.
But don't just look at the flashy things. It's a group of 53 and how it all melds together.
And part of the reason this defense isn't great because they've changed. I was a part of a great defense before Coach Shanahan came in. We ran a 4-3.
Okay.
So we had defensive ends who were used to rushing the passer. Then we changed to a 3-4. We had Albert Haynesworth, who was expecting to be a 3 technique. Now we changed to a 3-4. He's a nose. He doesn't want to be a nose. He wants to get sacks.
Yeah.
Our defensive ends are now outside linebackers. They're not used to playing in space, and it's different. And so for them to go from a 3-4 to a 4-3, it's different for a lot of those guys, and they don't see the same things that they used to see in their old positions. So some of them are even rookies at that new position. And so there's a lot of moving pieces to this equation that I feel like you got to give these guys time.
It's
you got to give
collective,
Coach Wilks time.
and that's a great point that you just made. But in the way I'm looking at it, and I don't know how to fix the fact that they cannot seem to use David Johnson correctly and use him in the pass game, which should be like the best friend of a rookie quarterback. But Rosen is playing better than the veteran quarterback did to start the season. So how much blame can you put on Rosen, who's gotten sacked 13 times in 4 games and is outplaying Sam Bradford? So to me, that removes him from the blame equation because he won them a game. He looks better than Sam Bradford did, who got paid millions and millions to be there.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, quarterbacks are judged on whether they're winning ball games.
Yeah.
Period. And right now, Josh Rosen is the quarterback for that team, and they're not very good right now.
The problem is when you start this poorly, all of a sudden that speeds up the clock for people to start saying things like bad pick, bust, whatever you're going to say. So it more to your point, it takes a while sometimes when you switch coaching staffs and schemes on both sides of the ball to fit your person. So I don't want to say like, oh, the Cardinals did a bad job of accumulating 53 guys on a roster and talent. Sometimes it takes a while to now tailor your roster to what you're